All right, Kenman here, and it is time. Die project number 63. My Damned Designs Oni. Let's go. Are we ready? Die project number 63. Can you believe it? How did we get this far? Let's get some last looks. This is the last time it's going to look like this. Let's tear it down and make some fun changes KDK style. All right, get a board out here. Set the table for some success. Bing, bang, bong, boom. Huh, we are zoomed in tight. Let's go. Who's ready? What are we going to do? What color is it going to be? Shut up, Kenman. Just take the knife apart and let's get to it. Looks like we don't even need the T6. It's all T8s. Maybe I spoke too soon. Let's find out. Okay. T8 for the pivot. T8 right there. And those inside there. They are. How about that? I did swap this clip already. When I picked up this knife, I was ready to test it immediately. And so I had already swapped the clip once. I'd forgotten that it was, in fact, now that's going to be stuck, of course. All T8s, which is cool. This is my first Damned design. Alright, let's just pop that out like so. Pretty simple to remember the captive pivot where it goes, right? Okay, we have a full crash. So the bearings were open side toward the blade. Good to remember. That blade is a beast. Alright, so that fits in there nicely. Pretty simple, fun design on this one here. Back spacer is black, so we cannot change that. I don't know. Ooh. How interesting is that? So you can just, I can just leave that like that and just let it be a single part. Pretty simple design, simple, clean tear down. We have the scales. Here we are. Let's, actually, I'm not going to be in the kitchen this time. We have a different setup, but let me swap out, get to that. Away we go. Oosh, and we're here. I've got them on these hooks. We've got the die heated up. I had some issues with the other setup. The heat was coming up too close to the camera, so I had to kind of convert back to here. We're fine. We're doing a nice aquamarine blue today. I have it almost boiling, so I'm going to kind of splash these around. For those, we haven't done a die project in a while. When you put it in the die, you don't want any air bubbles on there. An air bubble would be a spot that the die isn't hitting, and then when you take it out of the die, then that spot doesn't have color on it. We want a nice uniform, even color, so you want to make sure there's just no air pockets and it's just sitting in that die nice and good. The die is a liquid RIT die. What I've done is took about 2 to 3 ounces of the RIT dye and mixed it with about 20 ounces of water, and that is this right here. And then I keep them in you have like a container. You can, when you're finished, let it cool off, put it in the container, and you can reuse the dye over and over again. Makes it real easy. So we need to let it sit in there for a while. We want it just under boiling. The heat helps kind of activate the dye, make it do its thing. You could dye at room temperature, but it could take several days to achieve the same color you could get in a few minutes if you heat it up. I have seen some people will get the dye boiling. That is not necessary. I like to usually get it pretty close to boiling, and then 3 to 10 minutes in there will get you the color you desire. You just got to basically take them out every once in a while like this, sneak a little peek, drop them back in. When the dye is on there, when you're taking a peek though, it is thicker, so it tends to be a little darker than what your actual color is going to be, so that's what we've got this rinse for. You're going to rinse it off, and when you put it in regular water, it totally neutralizes it, and then you can see where you're at. So we have this on the ready. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to time lapse a little bit. We're going to let them sit in there for about 5 or 10 minutes. This particular color on jade is not super fast, so we're going to let it sit for a good 5 minutes and then we'll come back. Let's see what we've got. So you can see how dark they look right now. We'll go into the water here, neutralize it up, take a peek. That's good. I like it where we're at. We're going to call it there. Get the little hooks off of here. You want to make sure you rinse them off really good. Any little spot of dye will continue to change and affect stuff, even if it's just a little bit. So you want to rinse them off real good, give them a little wipe. Grab a towel here, there we are. All right, we're going to get these dry and we'll check them out. We have done it. I am happy with this aquamarine color. I think it looks good. I did realize what I've done though is now I've combined darker blue with black, which I can't stand. So this is going to give me some inspiration and reason to start working and get my CNC going so I could make a new backspacer that is not black. But here we are. Let's get it back together. Let's check it out. I'm going to time lapse this part. We can whip through it real quick and then we'll talk about it once we're done. We have done it. Let's check, see, maybe I need to loosen it a little bit, tighten it. No, I think we might be fine. You want to always check when it's open. You don't want any play. Tighten it down just a tiny little bit. When you put her back together, I made sure to pay attention for centering. I usually tighten the pivot down all the way and then evenly tighten up everything else. Then you can back the pivot out a little bit to get it where you want. Looks like the blade is centered nicely. Front flipper works. Thumb out never works good for me on this one here, but flick out no problem at all. Looks like it drops shut just fine. Fun, snappy knife. We're solid. We've done it. What do we think of the final product here? Damned Designs. 14C28N on that really nice stone washed blade. I love the finish on here. I love the thickness, the size of this knife. Big old beefy user. I did switch the clip right away because I wanted to test it out, but I haven't really carried it much because I wanted to do the custom. Now we are done. Die number 63 in the books. What do we think? I like this aquamarine blue. I did a few other knives in that color, but I have since sold them or given them away. So I wanted to do it again. I dig it. Not a big fan of that black backspacer. Maybe I'll make one, change it up sometime soon. What do we think? Comment below. I love it. What a fun knife. What other Damned Designs knives are out there that are cool? I really like this one. I definitely look at some more. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.